IWC Meltdown number 3 this week. Rhea Ripley has to find another way into the title picture because signing a contract is not a fair way to get into the match. If AEW did this, WWE fans would tear them apart. The IWC uses this weird tactic where they try to tell casual fans, it's like a mind fuck. They try to tell us how we would respond to a situation in AEW when the situations in AEW aren't anything like we're referring to when we talk about storytelling in WWE. Here's the reality. We don't expect complete logical storytelling. We just expect it to make sense enough in the world of wrestling. And in the world of wrestling, when someone signs a contract, that's usually enough for us casual fans to go, okay, I guess she's in the match, right? It also doesn't hurt that most of us kind of were in on the idea that this was going to be a triple threat match, so it's not a huge shocker. The shit that AEW does, that we reference, that you're trying to reference like if AEW did this, the shit that as casual fans we see in AEW and we roll our eyes at, it's not like white collar contract fraud, right? It's attempted murder. It's when guys inject a needle into another guy's mouth, or they set a guy on fire, or they put a stick full of nails in a guy's back. That's the stuff we roll our eyes at. And even then, we tend to do it in jest like, if that's what you weird guys like, more power to you. This idea that the IWC tries to use when it comes to WWE, this idea that every story in wrestling needs to make logical sense is insane. That's never been a trope of wrestling, right? It's wrestling. Like, there are matches that the loser has to shave their head. That doesn't make sense. It's just really fun to see, right? People get hung in shark cages above the ring. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but we enjoy when it happens, right? There were two guys who fought over a $1.75 bracelet over the entire summer, and 90% of us said that was the feud of the year, right? Over-the-top things are what make wrestling fun. So when it comes to situations like a contract, we can look past it to a certain extent because it's fun. A lot of people don't like this Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley storyline. I tend to kind of enjoy this. I think it's silly. I think it's fun. I am on the Wavy D train where this is just kind of chapter 1, page 1 of what Bianca and Rhea will come down the line, right? But we've all been in situations that don't seem fair where we felt like we were being screwed. And that's all this is. Like, Rhea Ripley broke the rules and she's probably going to get away with it. That's happened in all of our lives at some point in time. And most of us just bitch and complain and then we fucking take it, right? That's what's going to happen in this story. But if a motherfucker jabs me with a needle in my mouth or sets me on fire or hits me in the back with a bat full of needles, I'm killing his ass on the spot. That's the big difference that the IWC doesn't want to talk about when we talk about rolling our eyes at what's happening in AEW. The reality is, though, at this point, the argument is kind of futile, right? Most casual fans, and especially after what happened last night, we're not paying attention to what AEW does anymore. So this idea that the IWC argument is always, this is how the casual wrestling, or this is how the WWE fans would react if this happened in AEW. There's not really a subsection of the audience that's watching AEW anymore. It just, that audience doesn't exist. If you're arguing with WWE fans, it's more than likely that you've just found the other side of the IWC that weirdly worships WWE. That's not casual fans you're talking to if you're having these conversations where people are rolling their eyes. But I will promise you, the WWE IWC is the smallest of the small audience on the internet. And if you find yourself in conversation with those guys, you've traveled into some of the darkest corners of the wrestling web. The better conversation to be had right now is the conversation that I see within even our casual community, which is the conversation of, is there a need for Io Sky to be part of the title match? And I can genuinely say, I see the arguments on both sides. This is a fun argument because I could make the argument either way. I can see the We Too Deeps who are just 100% against the idea of needing Io in this match. I could see the arguments of the Wavy Ds who say it's not time, we need to be patient. Where I tend to fall on the issue is kind of, I want 100% down the road a full-on Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley match. I want a feud that lasts maybe the span of their entire careers. They're essentially a yin and yang. They're perfect. They complement each other so well. And while the selfish me would love to just rush into a match at WrestleMania, I do think that feud and that match needs context. They need to lay seeds to kind of get the necessary payoff down the road. Now, I hear what like We Too Deep says when he says, the problem is we never get that payoff. And I believe that's 100% right. I've made the argument a lot of times that like they laid the seeds for an Uso versus Uso match and then just completely shit the bed when we got there. There was a moment in time when that should have been done. We didn't do it. We let it marinate. It was supposed to get better. It just got soggy. It got chewy. It was gross, right? I do think there can be an argument to be made that Triple H has a little bit of ADD when it comes to booking, and he tends to wander off the path that he's laid because the crowd reacts a certain way. And so that's a different argument. I'll have that argument. I'll have that conversation at some point. But when it comes to this match and this story, I still am a firm believer that we need to lay the seeds. We need to lay the seeds now so we can have the foundation for something legendary down the road. If Triple H ends up robbing us of whatever that is, then fuck him, right? That's bad booking, and we can all then have that conversation. But I still think the foundation is necessary if we just even want there to be an opportunity for this to be as big as it could be. But here's the reality. I've come around even more on this match for other reasons, and that's because if you watch right now the product, Io Sky is genuinely over. She's over with the overseas crowd. She's over with the American crowd. She's over with the smart crowd. She's over with the casual crowd. She's just genuinely over. And I'm not sure I fully understand where that tipping point was, but I talk to people all the time. This is what I do. I have conversations with fans all the time, and the overwhelming consensus is they like Io Sky. And it's for the same reason they like Jey Uso. There's just something appealing to the certain fan base that likes her. It's like the Yeet movement. It's like the Yes movement. It's like the Cody Crybabies. There's just a swell going on right now. It's an Io movement that's kind of bubbling up, and I think we're in the beginning stages, and a lot of casual and IWC, like I said, smart fans and every kind of walk of life have kind of come together to embrace her. So I do believe that she deserves to have her moment at WrestleMania. She deserves to be a part of this match, and it can be a foundation that lays seeds for something down the road. But this is interesting because this leads me without break immediately into my fourth meltdown this week because
head down, we're ready to rumble. The casual pod don't stumble. No peace, no rest in